Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! SpongeBob, careful! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob!
Okay, that's always a bit scary, moving the statues, but he's finally here. Connor. I wanted to do a review on Connor sooner, but you know, things happen, you're busy. And I couldn't wait to put Connor together. Some people have already seen him on my Instagram page. So that's why I'm doing the review here in my office instead of in the studio. Otherwise I had to dismantle him and put him back together and do that all over again. And we know things can break, especially with fragile pieces. So I didn't want to do it. So I think we just have to get started with the review. So, Animus Connor, there's a lot to talk about because there's a lot to tell about Connor himself and the game. They really changed Assassin's Creed 3 with Connor. We switched from Ezio, which was very unfortunate of course, but hey, the beautiful story had to end somewhere. And then we started playing Connor, and the game was developed on a different engine, so the free running was very different and the fighting was different. You couldn't take 20 guards on at a time anymore. Well, maybe end game if you were experienced enough. And the free running was just way better than what it was supposed to be, at least in my opinion. So that already gave a different vibe, and Connor was a very special character on his own. And it was very cool how they started his story as a kid and growing up, and well, everybody knows it, meeting his father and Charles Lee and etc, etc. So that was very cool to me, that story. And of course, everybody knows, and those who didn't play it yet should have already done this way before this review. It's the game where Desmond dies, and that's for me where Assassin's Creed died a little bit, because they never got the story quite right anymore, in my opinion, but that's just me. But let's switch to Animus Connor himself and his beautiful wolf on top, which I really like. Maybe we should just get some close-ups. Okay, I'll lean in because it's a different space here. It's not a studio, it's my office, remember that, smaller space. But let's get into Animus Connor. The first piece I want to discuss, let's just go from top to bottom, is the wolf. I mean, how cool is it? I mean, PureArts always compares, well not PureArts, but Melissa and Dan compare things, oddly enough, with potatoes. So let's do that. I think this is around 2 big potatoes. Big, meaning it's quite a big extra piece on your statue, and I really like it, and especially with the blood around his mouth and stuff. Maybe we can get a closer look of that. And as we can see, now we are very nice and close. I really like the blood around his mouth and the fact that his paw is just hanging here. He's really crouching, looking for its prey. And in this case, I think it's Connor. I think it's gonna be a bad decision because in the game the animals will end up dead if they attack him. So I think the wolf is a very cool extra added bonus. So for those who thought about that, thank you. Okay, so we did the wolf, so I think we should get into the details of Connor. And I really like the details of Connor. I also like the face, the expression. In my opinion, it looks like Connor. And it is nice that they included his necklace, which is also the exclusive item or the limited edition item, that's whatever you want to call it, which I will go into details about at the end of the video because, well, we have opinions on everything, so also the exclusive item. But let's go look at Connor a little bit closer. Okay, so let's take a look at Connor, like I said. I'm not gonna point too much because it's really close and it's like, I look at my tiny screen over there and it's like mirrored, so when I'm pointing left it's right and it's just difficult. So like I said, what I like is the exclusive item, his necklace that they also put it on Connor himself. And I like the expression on his face. I mean, he looks angry, he's searching for justice in Assassin's Creed, so I think they did the right thing by making him look a little bit angry. What I also like is the belt. It is over here. This is something I can still see from here. This is his belt. I remember that Ubisoft also made a replica of his belt that you could buy in the Ubisoft store back at the time. I was very young, I didn't buy it. But still, maybe something I will buy. It's something I really like. And I like I really like Connor's suit itself. It's simplistic, it's cool, you can see it's an assassin. I don't like the new outfits in the current games because it keeps changing, you find new sets. Most of the time you either look like a guard or something weird. It doesn't look like an assassin to me. So I like it back in the days when they just designed the armor and that's what you could wear. You could paint it, but there were not too many things that you could change. And that's something I like. So that's what I like in the statue as well, the simplistic armor, the simplistic colors. And I like I think it's leather, it's supposed to be leather, on his feet or his legs. And it's all ruffled up and stuff, so it's very detailed and that's something that I really like. And then you have the buttons, the collars and his sword. You can move those things, you can take them out. You can also take them out if you want. So that's the things I like. Let's put this bad boy back over here. Okay. And then on the back, I don't think I can really show it. Maybe I can take it out. Are his guns, of course. The gun replicas, which I also like. Because Connor also carried heavy fire with him wherever he went, eventually. Let's put it back without breaking anything. And then on his back, of course, you also have his bow with the little string, which I like. And they have those arrows and you can take them out of the socket. They're just half, of course. And then you can put them back. Let me check. Over here. Go in. Okay, so those are the things about Connor that I really like. And I think we should move on to the base. Okay, here we are at the base, and this is one of my points of critique. I don't like the base of Animus Connor. To me, compared to the other statues, it's a bit boring. There's not too much happening. You have the blood, of course, and you have the helmet over here, or the hat. I don't know, maybe they could have added something like a broken cartwheel or like a broken cannon or something to make, I don't know, make more happen in this base. But overall, I mean, the detail of the snow is nice. You have the rocks and the blood, like I said, and with the head of the guard, it gives a little bit of the vibe of the Assassin's Creed 3. I can't remember the name now. What they did with Connor and the Connor's Last Breath statue. Finally, you had the smaller one, the big one, and the big bronze one. Maybe I can show a picture in the edit. Yes, this is a small reminder for me. And well, I think we can look at some details on the branches, and yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna hide behind the statue over here. Okay, so jokes aside, I really like these. They were easy to attach, and before I go any further, this statue was so easy to set up. This is the first statue I've ever had without breaking anything, and it was done super fast. Of course, you have to search for the parts of the Animus chisel, let's call it like that. That's the stuff you need to search, but it was very easy. And what I like is that, maybe I can take it off. Yeah, without breaking it, is the LED lights here go into the ice. I'll show you. So, as you can see over here, let's focus. There's a hole over here. Oh, over here. That's where the LED lights go in. So the lights are protected, and it gives a really cool glow around the entire piece of ice. Let's put it back. Okay. And then you just pop it on like that. Ta-da! And it fits. So I really like that you could put them over the LED lights. That's something I find really cool. And then on the branch itself, you see these tiny triangle shapes, which I think is interpreted to be the extra animus effect. So that's really cool. So instead of keeping the branches just a branch, they also added the triangles on it, which I find really cool. And I think this is also a pretty cool Christmas decoration piece. I think it's really a conversation starter. Okay, and here we have probably one of my favorite weapons in the game series, Connor, his axe. I mean, it's so cool that they did it like an Assassin's Creed logo, and they've added the blood on it, and they've added the Animus effect on it. That's something I really like. It's also very easy to put into his hand. I'm gonna try and not walk in front of the camera, so I'm gonna do it like this. I hope it's still visible. And you can just remove Connor's hand. I'll show you up close. You can remove his hand. It's a tiny magnet, and then you can just put it back. So what we used to do, or what we are used to, is that you would have the hand. Oh, let's pretend my hand is the hand. You have to like really wriggle it in, and then either the hand broke or something else broke, which is not nice. And now you can just pop it in like this. Okay, let's try and do it. Put the hand there, his thumb goes here, his other fingers go there. And boom, you're done without breaking it. This is something I really love. So for me, Animus Connor is just an amazing piece. Besides critique on the base and stuff, I think it's a very cool statue, and it's a very sufficient statue because it's very easy to put together. It's beautiful to look at, and because it's easier to put together, it makes the, well, unpackaging, unboxing, and the whole process makes it more nice for me, because I wasn't worried about breaking things. I wasn't worried about that I had to heat up certain parts so it could fit well. It just plopped right into place with everything. The only thing, maybe you have to be a little bit careful with the wolf. That's the only part I had to just nudge into the position, but also that fell into place very easy. So for me, that's very nice. So I talked about the base, about something I didn't like, and the only point of critique I have after that is the exclusive item, the necklace of Connor. It looks beautiful, of course, it's very nice, and we know this is from Connor. I would have preferred something different because it just doesn't give a real Assassin's Creed vibe to me, the necklace of Connor. There is not a lot of lore about it, and there isn't really a big story about it, which isn't always necessary, of course, but compared to like the Mashiach key on the Rip Altair statue, it's very different. I forgot to bring it with me, but I have it at home, so maybe I'll just put a picture on screen. I would have liked maybe that they did the replica of the bracelet in Assassin's Creed 3. I think that would have been a very cool one, if I remember correctly, that it was AC3 with, it was like a silver bracelet with some kind of snake on it and all kinds of Animus and ones who came before stuff. That's something I would have really liked, but Ubisoft already made it, but it would have still been a cool special extra prize with it, is the belt. I think it would have been cool if it was the belt or the AC logo or something, or maybe like this, but this is like a weapon, so I don't know how that is with shipping, or the thing on his brace. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the tooth necklace, but still, it's a nice addition, a nice extra if you were soon enough to order it, because there were only 250, you cannot read it on this card of course, but it were only about 250 exclusive editions, so it's very nice to have it, and it's very nice to have it on the card. So for me, this was Animus Connor. I think it's an amazing piece because it's tall, it has cool lights, it's easy to put together, and Assassin's Creed 3, so I'm just stumbling over my words. Assassin's Creed 3 was just such an amazing game. It was a very cool story, the end of a saga. Well, for me it was the end of a saga because we don't see or hear much about Desmond anymore after Assassin's Creed 3. So to me, there was a game with a lot of impact, and it was very special. So that's why Assassin's Creed, the Animus Connor statue is a very special statue to me. I'll put a link down in the description if you're interested in purchasing it, or just send me a message and I can help you. I always have some kind of discount codes. And as of recent, I'm also affiliated with PureArts, so please message me if you need anything. It keeps the statues running, and that's how I can do more reviews. Otherwise, Melissa and Dan, if you don't have time for reviews, send one, I'll do it. But jokes aside, this is a very cool statue, and I think every Assassin's Creed fan should have it in their collection. Before we end this review, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Prestige line that PureArts is going to release. There's not too much known about it yet, such as the prices and the exact dimensions and stuff. But I think we can all agree that everybody was very excited when we saw that face of Ezio, or the ones that are more into Altair saw that face of Altair and saw Prestige line. And especially when they unveiled, when CG Projekt Red revealed their Geralt on their event, how massive was that statue? And just imagine having like a 1:2, my hand is out of screen, but hey, a 1:2 scale Ezio. I thought they were gonna do busts, 1:1 busts, because everybody's doing those big expensive busts. And I think that would have been cool, but if I am correct, they're doing like the full body scale Ezio and Altair like they did with Geralt from The Witcher. So I'm very curious how that's gonna look and how that's gonna be. And what I'm also curious about, and that was, just checking if my microphone was on. What I'm also curious about is the price, of course. That's what everybody's wondering, because they are going to be made of silicone, and it's all real fabric and the hair and stuff. And if you look at those 1:1 scale busts from Terminator or Game of Thrones, DC, Marvel, those things go like for 4,000 to 5,000 euros, ex shipping, ex VAT. So I think you're like 6,000 euros away. You have to spend 6,000 euros to have that statue and get that statue here. To me, those prices are insane. I mean, I'm not rich, but I'm not poor either, but those are incredibly crazy prices for a statue. So I'm wondering what PureArts is gonna do, and price-wise as well, because they're big statues, they're silicone, so most of the times that means it's more expensive, which is, hey, I mean, it's expensive stuff, so that's correct. And I think if PureArts can manage to keep the price at a decent level, I think they're gonna have so many more customers, because let's just say it, a Prime 1 or a name studio that does the 1:1 scale bust, they are just outpricing their customer base at this point. And I think PureArts is doing a really good job in not outpricing their customers, at least in my opinion. The opinions vary, of course. So I'm curious what they're gonna do with that. I think I will be the one who's definitely gonna buy the 1:2 Ezio, because I mean, if you're that big of a diehard Assassin's Creed fan, you need to have that in your collection. So for today, that was it. If you need anything from PureArts, or you just want to talk statues, hit me up on Mentos Collection or Instagram, and I'll be happy to help and happy to talk. The link for Animus Connor or any other statues, I'll put my affiliate link down in the description. And I hope to see you all at my next review. And I'm either gonna do a Ezio or Altair, because I haven't done those yet, or maybe Edward. I made a video about him, but not a review. And if not, then I will do Geralt by the end of the year, the 1:4 scale Blood and Wine Geralt, because those will be here, I hope. And then we'll be reviewing Geralt. So I will see you all in the next video.